May the 26th will mark 20 years since the Bringing Them Home report on the stolen generations was handed to the federal government. To mark the 20-year anniversary, new education kits will be handed to schools and workplaces around the country, providing a better understanding of this bitter history. RANGI HIRINI reports.
Said this is for the best, took us away. I was 8 years old when they took me and my brother Barry away from her mother. But we were just little children. What could we do?
They took the children away. Some returned and some have never been found. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander kids being forcibly removed from their homes and placed in the care of government.
They tried to break our spirit and take my soul. They wanted to take away our Aboriginality.
Next month will mark 20 years since the Bringing Them Home report was tabled in Parliament. But there's concern not enough is being done to keep those stories alive. Today, the Healing Foundation launched new education kits to make sure that history is not lost.
We've developed resource kits for schools and workplaces to get the conversation started and make sure people have the facts.
The national campaign features personal memories from members of the stolen generation. In a new report, the Healing Foundation says the stolen generation, their children and their grandchildren are 50% more likely to be charged by the police, 30% less likely to be in good health, and 10% less likely to have a job.
For me, the 20th anniversary of the Bringing Them Home report gives us a chance to build a better future for our children. We don't want this hate to go to our children, our grandchildren, or our great-grandchildren.
Uncle Archie Roach, who is also a member of the Stolen Generation, performed at today's launch. He says the new announcement of education kits should have been a part of the school curriculum a long time ago.
Because it's, it's Australian. It's, if they want to teach Australian history, which they do in school, they want to teach all of it, and that includes, the stolen generations, as well as other things. They don't just want to talk about, the good things. They've got to address the bad stuff as well. Otherwise, it's you don't get the full story.
We've already failed thousands of stolen generation members who have passed away. We've got to get this right for those who are still with us, for their sake, for the sake of their families, and for the sake of every Australian.
On the day of the national apology, Aunty Lorraine PEETERS presented Prime Minister Kevin Rudd with a gift of a glass coolamon containing a message thanking the Parliament for the apology and a symbol of hope that Indigenous people placed in a new relationship. I spoke to her and Aunty Florence Onus, who is the chairperson of the newly created Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island Healing Foundation. I started by asking about the legacy of forced removal and the impact it has had on their lives.
The effects of that is very severe. You're put in there to learn another's culture. You're forced to forget your own culture. You weren't allowed to speak language or anything about your culture, or you weren't allowed to get in touch with family. So all that was just erased from your memory. Because now, today we don't have community memories. We have institutionalised memories, but and to compare that is you just cannot compare it. So, and the effects that roll off that is horrendous today.
Yeah, obviously that happens at quite a young age. Is it something that you still carry with you today and then continues after that?
Oh yes, the brainwashing is on a daily basis. You're told to think, speak, dress and act white, and if you didn't conform you were punished. So that brainwashing stays with you forever. Even today, like next year I'm 80, and every Saturday I can ring any Cootamundra woman up and ask them what they're doing. They're either cleaning the house or washing. So that was our duty of a Saturday morning. So brainwashing was thoroughly done on us in Cootamundra.
And that's with your generation as well. What about the next generations? Is that still carrying through, that kind of intergenerational trauma?
Well, definitely, because for those of us who haven't begun the healing journey, that is something that is handed down, the trauma, the pain and the suffering, the impacts of that, you know, through violence, through alcoholism, drug abuse, all those sorts of things have a long-lasting impact on the continuing generations. You know, young people or children may not understand why mum or dad is really angry, or why are they violent, or why do they drink, or, you know, why are they self-harming. So these are some of the long-lasting impacts from one generation to the next.
20 years on, what's changed, what's stayed the same, and where would you ideally like to be in another 20 years from now?
Well, this year marks the 20th anniversary of the Bringing Them Home report, and when we look at the 54 recommendations that were given at that time, only a handful of them have been implemented. Some of them have been partially implemented, but there's still a lot of unfinished business. We would like to see the current governments, both federal, state and territories, support the stolen generation's ongoing healing and forms of reparation for our people, to continue to allow our people to heal from the past traumas, to heal our past and build our future, I guess, and that's one of the, one of the statements of the Bring Them Home 20th anniversary campaign is about heal our past and build our future.